Good morning, good morning. We got another beautiful day. Dave got our mower unhooked from our loader tractor. We're gonna go spread some fertilizer this morning. See if we can get all the wheat starter fertilizer close here, done and spread. So, see what we can do. All right, well, we're gonna go. This field behind the barn over here is got wheat planted in it, growing, and so we're gonna go get that spread. So this is our field. Kind of looks like that. We're gonna perimeter it, and we'll kind of start wherever we start, I guess, and go from there. Biggest thing I am concerned about is making sure that our rate is correct. So I made sure that our scale and our rate controller matched when we started this. After we do the perimeter, we'll compare them again, and if we're off, well, then we'll have to adjust. This boundary track feature on the Gen 5 and the Gen 4 monitors as well, it's really nice for perimeter in fields like this. Like it just kind of follows that edge and keeps me right distance off the edge of the field. So that's I haven't used that a lot, starting to more this year, but it's pretty handy for this. So I thought that our rate was off a little bit. So we are doing a calibration here where basically we're running 500 pounds out of the spreader, and it's calculating out how long or how much it thinks it needs to move it to do that, and then we're going to compare it to what the scale says and kind of calibrate a little bit. So we're just dumping it on a pile here with the other stuff. We got to get the spinners cleaned off. There, it's done. So I got to get all this cleaned off, and then we can go see what our scale says, and if it's 500 pounds, we're good. If it's not, we'll adjust. So it thinks it did 505.5 pounds. We were at 12,110, something like that. So I think we're a little off. I got it in my phone here. 370. It put off 370 pounds. So that's 20% off, or a little more, 25%. That's a lot. So I told it what it is. We're going to run the test again and see if we're more accurate this time. Yes, same parameters. Same parameters. Go. Start. Now we're right on. Second test was perfect. Said we had 513 pounds, and the scale said 510. And it's in 10-pound increments, so that is right on. So now I feel better about our rate. Let's go finish spreading that. All we did was the perimeter of that field, so we were a little low there, but it'll be okay. We'll get the rest of it on the right amount, and it will get a little overlap on the ends anyway, so it's fine. Now you can see the wheat coming here. It's definitely coming up more in the low ground that had a little bit more moisture in it. Most of it is coming, this early planted stuff, but we could use some rain. I think there's still some seeds sitting in dry dirt that just doesn't have enough moisture to sprout. So for the most part, it's off to a decent start, just very dry. Well, we can see some progress. We're actually emptying our spreader out. That's good. It kind of empties, with the lime, it empties from the front to the back. With this fertilizer, it's from the back to the front a little bit, and so it was hard to see it going down, but it is. I think we're doing good. It says we got 8,000 pounds left in the box there. That says we got 8,200 pounds left in the box, so we're not quite perfect, but we're close. Yeah, that was only 150 pounds off. Yeah, we'll see when we get done here how far. Maybe we need to tweak a little bit more, but we're not that far from being where we want it. So we'll spread this out and go reload and keep spreading. Filling in a little sliver here. We still got to do a bunch of it up there, but we're about empty. I can't really see. I can still see a little bit clear back in that corner over there, so it's not empty yet. But we're just going to go load her up right now. No reason to risk it. Oh, look, we'll stop and look when we get up there to the pile and see what's in the box yet, but we'll fill her up. Oh, there's more in there than I thought. I wasn't sure if it was sticking to the sides and the center was running low or not, but no, we could have kept spreading for a little while. That's okay. We're here. Let's fill it up. All right, she's loaded. So we made a little pad here with some lime. They had scraped the straw and stubble and stuff back, and then spread some of this lime down a couple inches thick, and we piled our fertilizer on that. The idea is that we don't want to get the straw and dirt in the fertilizer, but a little bit of lime mixed in with the fertilizer is no big deal as long as it's not chunky and it keeps flowing just fine. And when we're done and we got the fertilizer pretty well scraped up, we'll have some of, you know, this kind of stuff where you've got a little bit of fertilizer in the lime. We'll try and scrape that up and spread it, and a little bit of fertilizer in your lime is no big deal either. So until we get some infrastructure in place and we pour a concrete pad or put up a fertilizer barn or buy a semi truck that we can tender straight into the spreader or something, this is a pretty good alternative. We just can't let it get rained on, but there's no real rain in the forecast, so that's why we're spreading it today and getting it used up. Well, 60-foot spread width, we get a little overlap. Good thing that outside round was spread a little light anyway, right? So it'll be what it is. Anyway, we got this one done. We're gonna head down the road. We've got a 46-acre field that I think we can spread with what we got left on the spreader. So we'll go get that one done. All right, well, we got that one done. 4,400 pounds left in the spreader, and there's the coverage map. Yeah, went good. Let's go reload and do another one. Well, I got it full. Let's see if we got 28,000 pounds on there for 14-ton capacity. Yeah, we used the sideboards. It's full. Now it says we're over capacity, but 27,020. That's not 14 tons. So we're good. That's close enough, we'll call it. 2720. So we're gonna enter that in here. 27020. Okay. Okay, so we've got about 95 acres to do between this field and that little field over there. This wheat's coming up better. You can see it pretty nicely. Row it there. Looks pretty good. A little patchy or thin in spots yet. It'll fill in. It'll be okay. But this was the first wheat we planted. It went in right after we had 2/10 of an inch of rain, and then we got another 1/10 or something on it a day or two later. So it's had just enough moisture to get it to grow, but not much more than that. So we'll get this one spread. We shouldn't be able to do the whole field on one spreader load, but we'll get a lot done. We should get over 60 acres of it done here, so 2/3 of it, something like that. All right, well, we covered this field, 63.59 acres. There's the coverage map. All looks good. Says that we have 6,812 pounds left. Now, I input the number in there, right? We type in the number after we load so that it matches what the scale says. 6815. I'd say we got the rate right. That's fantastic. All right, good deal. 6,800 pounds. We're gonna go spread this out in that other field that's back over there on the other side of the lane, but we're gonna take the road to get there so I'm not driving across the field. And I will go reload. I hope we can get everything that's sitting on the ground in the spreader. We'll finish that and see where we're at from there. We've got another 30 acres down the road that we can do, and then we gotta go to where we were combining yesterday and do all of that down there. They're gonna tender to me, the retailer that we bought this fertilizer from is going to bring it to us there, so that we don't have to dump it on the ground or drive back and forth. It's 10 miles, so. Well, that's gonna empty right out. Nice. Said we had a couple 100 pounds left. That looks like a couple 100 pounds to me. Maybe 400 maybe, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go reload because we can't make another round, so. We can, however, look at our ground out here and look. Oh no, that's wheat. I saw all this. Nope, that's wheat. But right there's a fertilizer. Right there. There's some. All the pink is the potash. They're going to be the easiest to see. The brown stuff, let me get out here a little ways, is the map. I don't know if we'll be able to see that real well. So we got all the potash laying out here. I don't see. There's a white one. There's a little black speck. I think the white is the AMS, ammonium sulfate. That's some nitrogen and sulfur that we're putting on.
Yeah, the spread pattern looks pretty good, and we fan tested yesterday and got that dialed in, so I'm pretty confident of that. Just want to come out and look at stuff and see what it looks like. And see some of our volunteer beans are starting to grow and enough moisture to get them to sprout. I didn't plant this, Dad did, or not plant, harvest. Anyway, let's go reload. We've got just a few rounds to finish up here, 30 acres down the road, and then we'll go on to the last group of fields there. It is also lunchtime, so I may go stop and get some lunch, and I've got some wheat that I need to treat, and if we are going to load up and then be gone for a while, I might treat some wheat. I got 5 boxes I need to do for somebody, and yeah, we might just go and do that. Filled the tractor up just because it was getting a little low. I'm looking at that pile thinking I don't think it's all going to fit in the spreader, but we'll load it up here in a little bit and see. I'm going to go grab some lunch and get that wheat treated. Dad's on his way to go combine, so that process is moving. Phil's planting wheat. All things are happening. We're still getting lots done. Dad's been running the ripper this morning for a while on the field where they spread chicken litter yesterday, so getting that worked in. That is the least critical of the 4 things we're trying to accomplish right now. So the chisel gets shut down and we'll get the combine moving. Yeah, lots going on. Handy having a grill out here. Got those 5 boxes of wheat treated, so I let the guy know we'll see when he wants to come pick it up. In the meantime, I've got somebody else coming in about 20 minutes to pick up these 3 bags. So we're gonna hang out around for that. I gotta go print up an invoice for him, so I'm gonna go get that done real quick, and maybe we can get our spreader loaded up. Well, we are not gonna get it all on there. Spreader's full, but there's not much left. I think if we go and spread what's left in that one field and then come back, we can get the rest of it, which is convenient because then we've got that 30 acres to go and spread, and we're gonna go straight to our other group of 220 from there, and it's kind of on the way, so we'll have this pile cleaned up. That will be good. Anyway, guy just pulled in with a trailer down there. I gotta go load some wheat up. Back to spreading. Finish this field up and hope we use up enough to be able to get the rest of it on. So the farm is a mile that way, a mile and a half, I guess, from the field here. And the next field that we have to do, the 30 acres, is another 3.5 miles that way. And the 220 that we've got is then 7 or 8 miles in that direction. So I would like to go back, get the rest of that fertilizer, clean our pile up, go do that 30, and then we'll go to that last stuff over there. But if we can't get it all picked up, that kind of throws a wrench into that plan. So we'll see. I think we'll get it. We should use up enough in the rest of this that the rest will fit, and we'll make it work. Even if there's a tiny little bit left, like, we'll just throw it in with the fertilizer later. It's not the end of the world. Oh man, we did almost 15 acres, but we sure didn't bring it down a lot. I'm gonna have to get out and look and see how much room's in the back of that spreader, because there's not much in the front. Oh yeah, there is quite a bit of room in the back there. All right, we're gonna go load her up, put the rest of it in. Yeah, gonna be tight, but we'll try and get it in there. There's not that much there. Maybe 3-4 bucket loads if we could get them full. Never a doubt. Never. It's full. Never a doubt. We got it. Good enough. We'll scrape her up a little bit, but good enough. Well, that bucket is mostly lime with some, maybe it's mostly fertilizer with some lime in it. Anyway, it ain't gonna fit. We'll throw it in the spreader some other time, but we're gonna call that good enough, and go do our 30 acres and head on out to the next one. Plus I can do some math now and calculate exactly what we're gonna need to finish the last field up. We do fit under the wire with the spreader. This is the field where I had that big wire, or tall wire, that we couldn't get under with the combine, so we can do it here with the spreader though. So Dad came down here with the mower and did a fantastic job mowing the ditch banks and along the roads, and he did fantastic. So that's good. Brock got the wheat planted here. That's done. We're gonna get the fertilizer spread. Whoa, my boundary is dancing a little bit. This one needs remapped. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna remap this boundary sometime, probably in the spring. I've been trying to do all of them, a few every year, just based on which ones needed the worst. It's sort of hard sometimes because clean up the edges of fields or things change over time a little bit. If you're gonna use this boundary track, they gotta be fairly accurate. Oh, these odd-shaped fields. I promise it's gone down. It has. But we got this one about done. We got them 2 little triangles we got to go do. I think we'll perimeter them. That's about it. 80 feet. Yeah, it won't be much more than just going around the outside of them. But we'll get it, and then we can head on out to the next fields. All right. Got that one done. Okay, now we get our big move in. We still got quite a bit on the spreader, so we'll get down there and spread it out. We should be able to do almost 50 acres, I think, with what we got left. That worked it down. Good deal. Made it down here. So these are the fields we were combining yesterday, I guess. This is where we started yesterday combining. Brock did get these planted. I think everything on the north side of the road here is planted, but I don't know if across the road is yet. We can spread it before it's planted. Actually, it's preferable to spread it before it gets planted, because then the drill or the air seeder will actually maybe work some of this fertilizer down into the ground, which is a good thing. Now, none of what we're spreading is really volatile where it's going to evaporate. It will go down into the ground, and as we get some rain, it'll kind of work its way in, but the phosphorus and the potash don't really move through the soil very well. They get kind of bound up and tied to the soil, so they'll kind of sit on the top here until we do some tillage and stuff, but it should get deep enough to get to the roots for the wheat as it starts growing. But if you could use, get it on before the air seeder hits, and then kind of use that to work it into the seed trench a little bit, that is a good thing. So we're going to spread this until we're empty. My retailer that we bought our blended fertilizer from here is actually going to bring their tender trailer here, and we're going to load the spreader right out of that. So they're coming this afternoon with it yet. I don't know exactly what time they're going to be here or when, but we'll stick around for that. Dad and Phil are working in the combine and around the corner over there still, so if we get a chance, we'll go ride with them for a little bit, or if we're sitting here waiting for a long time, I suppose we could jump in the tractor over there and get some more of the wheat planted. Zoom out, there we go. Well, we got those front 2 fields done, and I jumped into the back here, but we're about out of fertilizer. I did get a text from my retailer. They are on their way, so it won't be long before they're here. I do want to run the spreader empty though, because the blend they're bringing me is slightly different than what we've already been using. Not a lot, but putting a touch more potash on these fields down here or the rest of them, because that's what my crop consultant recommended. So we're only talking 20 pounds the acre different, but we might as well try and get it as empty as we can here, and then we'll make that switch when they get here. Close enough. All right, well, we'll wait a few minutes for them to get here. I was gonna see where we're at with this air seeder. It is backed up to the wagon like it needs seed, so we'll see. We could fill it real quick. Sure does. Oh, we can work on that. Got a little bit. There's my fertilizer. That timed out really well. We'll come back to this. Wow, we're gonna need one of these trailers. Holy crap, this is awesome. We're kind of gonna park her there and let me load out of it tonight while we get her used up. So we'll let her go here. Fill her up as best we can. Oh, that's slick. That worked really well. We got her loaded right up. Not as full as what I had it with the bucket though. Must not have got the back clear full. It's sort of hard to see from up here exactly how full it was in the back there, but that's a good load. We did not quite get half of it. I thought maybe we'd get half the trailer on here and then be able to do it in 2 loads. Didn't quite make that, so it's all right. No big deal. All right, we're gonna finish loading the drill because I kind of need to move the air seeder out of the field that I'm trying to spread, and then we'll finish spreading this field. And Dad's about done combining over there, it looks like, to me. And we might shut this down to help get everything moved because we got to get that combine back home. We can come finish spreading in the morning. Full, done. Let's finish spreading, or let's do some spreading. One thing that we have not addressed in the wheat starter fertilizer discussions here is that we are not variable rating this. So what is wheat starter fertilizer, right? Well, let's start there. So our blend is 150 pounds of MAP. MAP is monoammonium phosphate. It's 11% nitrogen, 52% phosphorus. 11520. It is we have 60 pounds of AMS, ammonium sulfate, in here. Ammonium sulfate is, I want to say, 26, something like that. Maybe that's not right. Yeah, I think that's right. It's a little bit of nitrogen, but it's got some sulfur in it. We're using it for that sulfate sulfur that our wheat crop needs, and to give us the nitrogen that we need for the fall here. Plus, there's some nitrogen in the MAP that we can get into the plant as well. And then we've got, in this blend, 140 pounds of potash to the acre. Potash is 0060, that's our potassium needs. So that's what we're putting on. We're supplying the bulk of the major nutrients that we need. Obviously, we will add some more nitrogen in the spring when the wheat greens up and starts to grow. But the phosphorus and the potash will stay in the soil over the winter, and we don't have to worry about them leaching like we would nitrogen. That's why we don't put all our nitrogen on now. So, because we're putting on some nitrogen and some sulfur to feed a growing crop, we are not variable rating it. This is not about fixing the soil and, it is based off a soil test, but we're kind of averaging what the whole field is because we want a consistent amount of nitrogen and sulfur on this wheat crop on all of it. So that's why we don't variable rate our wheat starter. Now, the rest of the fertilizer that we spread this fall will be variable rated. We're going to spread some MAP and potash on fields going to corn next year that are not getting chicken litter, and we will spread some potash on some corn stalks that got chicken litter last year. Now, that might be a straight rate, the potash, but the rest of it will be variable, and obviously we've been variable rating the lime as well. So that's what we're doing. So total here between all three products that were blended together, since it's a straight mix, or we're putting the same amount of all the products on all the acres, we can blend them all together. We don't have to spread them separate. And it adds up to 350 pounds of the acre that we're putting on here. Done back here. So, and I see, looks like Phil's getting the header cart over there. So they must be about done harvesting. I'll go talk to him and see what the plan is here. All right, well, that's Dad, actually. He got done combining, so he came to get the header cart. We're going to go get the combine and stuff. Nobody wants to make a decision on whether it's more important to keep the spreader moving here or get the equipment moved home or what, but we don't want to make the move in the dark, which it's 6 o'clock now. We got about an hour and a half before it gets dark, and we probably aren't going to get stuff moved in time to go to start combining somewhere else. Dad's not going to anyway. He wants, he's going to want to quit by the time we get stuff moved. So I think I am going to go with him, and we're going to drop the head, and I'm going to drive the combine home. He'll bring the head home, and then the two of us will come back and start moving some of the other stuff, or I can keep spreading, or we'll see whatever we're going to do here. The seed in the 8R is not bad, but there's something about this combine seed. Man, do I love this seed. Just sitting here driving this thing. It's awesome. So then we got the head off. Phil just got back. He was hauling stuff in. There's a little bit in the cart yet. He's going to walk back there and get it. Dad offered him a ride, but he said he would walk. Okay. So Dad's taking the head. I'm taking the combine. Heading for home, and we'll come back, and I might try and spread out what's in that spreader yet. We aren't going to get it done tonight. We'll finish it tomorrow. No big deal. Dad and I came back over here. I dropped him off to get his pickup. He had the pickup and fuel trailer down here from this morning. And we're going to finish spreading out the load that we've got on the spreader and then call it a night. Phil was going to stop back on he was taking that last load, and he was going to come back and plant a little more weed, or there's apparently a little strip in that backfield that he didn't get done, so he's going to do that. Whoa! You know, Phil said it was doing that to him this spring. Turn the lights on and it just like kills the whole tractor. That's a problem for me. I don't remember. I thought we had something, or we addressed that, but maybe not. All right, do we have to restart, or is it going to go here? Nope, it ain't going to go. Electronic system, initial startup checks not complete. Return shift letter to park to attempt vehicle recovery. I did that. Well, something about turning those lights on puts too much of a load on the electrical system and kind of kills it. So we'll shut her down and restart. That seems to be the solution when Phil had done it. I'll remember that tomorrow if I turn the lights on and not do it while we're running. We'll stop on the end or something and see if that makes it better. Try this again. There we go. Auto track back on. Okay. Off and running. It's getting dark. We needed our lights. Well, we got her empty, and we're going to call it for night. I thought about reloading it, but I don't really want to leave it exposed overnight in the spreader. It's not a big deal. It's not supposed to rain, but you never know. You could get that. And it's in a nice tarps trailer right now, so we'll just let it sit there. We'll come back in the morning and get that empty and finish our spread. Oh, dang it. I did that wrong. I'm supposed to turn the lights off first, and then they come on. Now I got to walk in the dark all the way up to the road where my truck is. Dang it.